Jordan gonna be up here?
No.
Good. I didn't know.
Okay, get on. You're on. Say it. You're on. Hang on. Let's talk. Go on. Talk. Don't go on. Oh, now you don't want to talk. Now that you're on, now you don't want to talk.
The imaginary audience of millions is who she's afraid of. And it's totally okay. I mean, I get it, but
Give
with
me
a
the
face like
headphones if you're
that,
not gonna talk.
with a face like that,
Just
we
talk
winning
about your
already.
story.
Because you're so pretty. So I mean, we should get like 1,000,000 views right now.
What?
Are you gonna help us get some views?
No.
No, you're not gonna help us get views. Okay, well, I guess that didn't work out as planned.
No,
I asked her if she was gonna help us get some views, and she said no.
Oh, no, you're not gonna help us get views? Well, get out of here.
But I told her that with a face like that, we should have 1,000,000 views in no time.
Yes. Fortunately, she didn't get her daddy's face. So.
Yes, fortunate for her. Yes, very fortunate for her. Yes.
Bro. Anyways, listen, we're about to get this thing kicked off. SOSODEF proper like on a Sunday. Stick with us. Fight your report.
We see the work that you put in. We see you training. We know the effort that it takes. We see your sacrifice. We know fighters, and we are the show that the fighters watch. Welcome to the Fighters Share Report.
Hey, welcome. It's Sunday. First Sunday of 2021. You know what? That deserves, because we made it. Not everybody made it through 2020. So, listen, you know what? King Ryan got dropped and then took Luke to the body shot. So, hopefully y'all got a chance to see it. Good afternoon, Miss Karen. Hey, that fight came on noon Pacific time. I'm like, who starts a card at noon? The undercard started at like 10, bro.
And people like, man, the fight's so early, it must be overseas. No, the fight was in Dallas. It was not overseas. And that was a great job by the zone, because guess what they avoided? All the meaningful college football games that people want to watch that started after 7 o'clock. So it worked out perfectly for them. Great call. But that ain't why we're here. We're here to talk about this performance. How you feel, bro?
Bro, I think Ryan was out to prove something, and he did. But when he got caught by Campbell, I think it was in the second or third round, and Campbell put him down with that straight left, I was like, oh. I mean, I hadn't given Campbell any other rounds but that one. But Campbell was definitely in the fight from that point up in, I said, the next round or so, and then Ryan he was trying to impose his will from the opening bell, and I think that's the reason why he got caught. But I believe he put on a really good performance. He was trying to make a statement to the person we'll talk about in the next segment. But you know what? He knocked him out with a nice body shot, bro. And it's funny because Canelo was coaching him from the stand.
Yeah, well, I said it earlier in the week when we were talking about getting ready for this fight so many moons ago last year. I said that, hey, this kid has to win. He has to win impressively. This is his coronation. This is his show to the rest of the world that I am legit. I'm just not some social media YouTube hype. I am a real fighter and I can really do damage. And he delivered, not in the storybook fashion that he probably would have wanted, but probably in a fashion that probably did more for his brand than hurt it. We saw him get exposed. We saw him get dropped. We saw him recover. Then we saw him come to putting the beats on old Luke Campbell. I felt like Luke Campbell should have pressed him more after he got up, but I also understand that Luke Campbell is very aware of Ryan Garcia's hand speed. Now, what I was telling somebody yesterday after the fight or last night was that sometimes it's better to be sudden than it is to be quick and be fast. Suddenness is what got him that knockout last night. The hand speed was there, but the suddenness of pulling Luke Campbell's hands up to protect from that check left hook they had hit him with in the round before that stumbled him into the ropes that probably could have also ended the fight. When that happened, that would allow that hook to come down to the body. It was sudden. It wasn't fast. It was sudden. Campbell never saw it, and his legs were done. Good performance by Ryan Campbell. Ryan Garcia. I did expect a little more out of Luke Campbell, but the fight did what I said it was going to do, and it didn't disappoint. Garcia needed the test, and he passed it.
Yeah, I expected more out of Luke Campbell than that. Honestly, I'm not trying to be funny. It was a good showing for Ryan Garcia. I don't know if this completely destroys Luke's product or not, but just the way it ended, that body shot, and to see Luke Campbell on the canvas on his hands and knees trying to find some breath and stumbling
in his legs
at the count of 9.
Yeah,
and the ref just like, it's over. It's done.
Yeah.
and
you know what? No, and I didn't have a problem with the stoppage because, like I told somebody yesterday, the fight could have been stopped the round before that. If there was like just 1 or 2 more seconds on the clock, I think Ryan Garcia gets the stoppage because Luke completely turned his back and gave up and walked onto the ropes. That is a no-no in boxing. So I thought even then, so definitely when he got caught the next round, it was definitely over.
If that punch had happened in the middle of the ring, he wouldn't have made it to the ropes.
That too. Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right though, but he gave up his back.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ryan Garcia wins by knockout in round 7. Now, here's my question. Matchmaker, put your hat on. Davis versus Garcia in Dallas. Do you see it?
Sadly, I do not. And I'm saying I don't see it because of one main reason. Tank Davis will not get a first crack at Ryan Garcia. It will probably be Devin Haney. And I think if that fight happens, that is the only true 50-50 fight that Ryan Garcia can get into with either top guys at 135 pounds. And with that being said, I don't know if he wins that fight. If he wins that fight, then maybe Tank Davis, but certainly not the next fight, and certainly probably not within the next year. I don't see it.
This is really Golden Boy's last cash cow.
They got Virgil Ortiz.
Who?
Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, but okay. I'm talking like, I guess you'd say celebrity fighter.
Yeah, most definitely. Yep.
So they're not going to offer him up to somebody who can destroy him or beat him. I know they're going to talk about, every time you see a Golden Boy promotion, how Ryan Garcia is the true, champion in that division and blase squaze, but they're not anxious. They're going to talk about it, but they're not anxious for him to fight Tank Davis. I don't think it happens in 2021. I don't know if it happens in 2022, to be perfectly honest with you. It's going to have to be a lot of pressure put on Golden Boy, or their finances continue to crumble before they make that fight happen. Because whether they believe he beats Tank Davis or not, I don't think their bank account is willing to take the chance on risking this kid's future in their organization.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, bro, and it's a very good one. I'm in somewhat agreement with you on that. However, I'm just thinking at a more of a surface level. I just don't think that for what he did last night, as great as that performance was, I don't think anybody, the fans included, really feel like that is going to be a close fight between him and Tank Davis. Now, you got Ryan Garcia's fan base who thinks he can beat anybody, right? I mean, he just put on a great performance. But I think his handlers at Golden Boy, and I'm not saying Eddie Reynoso and Team Canelo haven't done a great job with the kid, but no, he is not ready for Tank Davis at this point. Bro, he's not ready for Teofimo Lopez. He is not ready for I think Shakur Stevenson is going to end up being the better out of all of those guys. He's not ready for him. I think Ryan Garcia needs another good fight, maybe with I don't know, because Javier Fortuna is supposed to fight Is it Tank next, or is he supposed to fight Devin Haney next? Either way, Javier Fortuna is taken. There's a couple other guys out there that can make for a good fight. Maybe Ryan Garcia goes back and fights Jorge Linares now. Remember, Linares was supposed to be his opponent, but he caught COVID. And that fight got scrapped, and that's when they end up making a match with Luke Campbell. So maybe now Ryan Garcia runs it back with Jorge Linares as another good stiff test to see if he's ready for any of those guys that are ahead of him. And remember, we can draw the lines because he fought Luke Campbell, and if he fights Jorge Linares, then all signs point to who? Vasil Lomachenko, because those are the same two last opponents he fought before fighting Teofimo Lopez. So that's kind of what I see there for him. But Tank Davis, not a chance.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I would love to see it though. These are one of those fights that you're like, yeah, instant classic. But in all reality, I agree. I don't think it'd be interesting, but I don't think they put Shakur Stevenson in the ring with him because you're right. Shakur Stevenson is just him and Davis in two different ways are just some special kids, man. And they're young and they're going to be special for a long time. And I believe they will end up being what we want Crawford Spence to be, your Hearns Leonard of this generation, because they're going to travel in the same weight classes for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be interesting because I think Stevenson has a bigger frame overall and has much more growing to do. And if he can get by Tank Davis, it won't be long before he conquers 140 and he's in the mix at 147 at a much younger age than the rest of those guys who will be in their mid-30s.
Yeah, well, and you're right. He got time on his side. We know how that works. Youth always wins out in the long run,
Yeah,
if you can let that off.
Father Time is undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Bianca Smith is a Red Sox coach? Yes, confirmed by the Boston Globe and Major League Baseball, the Boston Red Sox have hired Bianca Smith as their minor league coach, which makes her the first black female to ever coach professional baseball. This is going to be interesting. Give me your take on that, bro.
Well, I feel like this is a sign of progress, I guess, as outdated and antiquated as that sounds in 2021. But good for Bianca Smith, good for every young lady around the world that has a passion for baseball, because it just shows that, again, we've broken another barrier. Just like every week we're breaking another barrier that says we just hired the first black person to do this, or the first person of color to do this, or the first woman. So, I mean, I'm here for all the tearing down and demolition of walls that have kept, minorities and women out of certain environments and certain opportunities. So good for Bianca. Don't know much about her, but to infiltrate an organization, I say infiltrate because I don't think that this was something they were really planned on. To get into an organization like the Boston Red Sox, of all the organizations in MLB, you cracked in through the Boston Red Sox. I mean, only thing that could rival that is cracking the Yankees, because they've all been vilified in some way, even throughout their greatness. And well deserved.
Red Sox more recently, where you got players talking about being called the N-word at home games. So it's like,
That's why I emphasize the Red Sox. It's not just a Red Sox thing, it's a Boston thing.
It's a Boston thing. Now listen, Smith interned the baseball operations department at the Texas Rangers and Cincinnati Reds, and she worked as an amateur administrator for MLB. She played softball at Dartmouth from 2010 to 2012 before working as a director of baseball operations at Case Western Reserve University from 2013 to 2017, and as an assistant coach with the University of Dallas in 2018, according to the Boston Globe. this is just very interesting. I mean, I understand the Red Sox have some issues they're trying to deal with, um, and it's almost like putting a band-aid on a broken leg. You know, hey, look, we're trying to help. Look, we put the band-aid on there, but you can't walk. It's an interesting situation, and I just hope she's not being thrown completely to the wolves, because male athletes in general, when they get together in the locker room, it's like a giant fraternity. You and I have been in locker rooms. We've played ball, different sports, and as open-minded as a lot of guys are in the majority, when you get in those closed settings, there's just certain things that just come out innately, comments, actions, things that you've been doing your whole life, and now you're introducing and I'm not saying that she's thin-skinned, please don't get me wrong. Women are as thick-skinned as any man in some situations, but when you throw her, a young black female, in this situation, on road games, whatever, you are asking her to lead in situations where a lot of men don't want to follow other men, let alone follow a woman. And you have a black female telling you what to do. I pray for her. I think hopefully, they put a lot of the provisions in place that need to be there, because she's not only going to catch it from the fans and the media, but she's going to catch it from her own clubhouse if things start going south like they always do during a season. And you're in the minor leagues. So the spotlight's on you, but it's not on you enough to protect you like if you were actually in the big show. All right, I'm not going to take up his time. Yeah, I said it.
Yo, so it was funny that we ended up at the I said it, because before my partner talked about Bianca Smith, I was getting ready to talk about my favorite women's coach, which now she may have some company, Becky Hammon. Becky Hammon took over for Greg Popovich a couple of days ago after he got kicked out of the game for being himself. In a Spurs game, that was the first time in history that a woman has ever coached in an NBA game or was the head coach for an NBA game. Now, not to steal my partner's luster, but I must say this. Before we knew who Becky Hammon was as a coach, we knew who she was as a player. Gold medalist, great career in WNBA, all that, so on and so forth. But to come up in the Spurs system, let me tell you, was not an easy road to navigate. Because for all the great things loved about Greg Popovich, one thing that we know is that he is extremely fair. So trust me when I tell you that Becky Hammon probably received no preferential treatment, and she was probably treated just like the guys, which in Greg Popovich's eyes is probably not a good thing. You're just a number, right? But I will say this, man. I fell in love with the Spurs organization back after Michael Jordan retired. I needed a team, right? And who could I identify with? Growing up in the country, middle class, so to speak, kid, didn't really know a whole lot of struggle. I identified with the Spurs. They were a good team. They looked like me, but they played hard. They never got to a whole bunch of extra stuff. They just won. They got it done. And as I began to get older and they drafted Tim Duncan, I just kind of stayed with the team and I watched them create an entire dynasty. And now I see them shifting somewhere else where they begin to change the face of sports in general, just not in the NBA. The Spurs got an organization and championship they built from the ground up, a non-traditional way they do things now. They brought in international players that ushered in the change in the NBA. So now look, now every team has international players. Every team's looking for that next Manu Ginobili or Tony Parker. But let's see if the organizations in the NBA come follow our lead once again and look for the next Greg Popovich without being a man. And hopefully for me, it's Becky Hammon.
Good goal. All right. Friday, everybody walked around slapping hands, slapping back, shaking hands, giving hugs, talking about Happy New Year. That was like the favorite thing to say. I didn't do it on purpose, but I really didn't see my neighbors until yesterday, and I wished them a Happy New Year, and they were looking at me like I had lost my mind. Like, dude, that was yesterday. And it reminded me of the mindset that we live in today. If you don't say Happy New Year on New Year's, to some people it just doesn't count. Not that this is the first time I've seen you this year. Like my partner, Happy New Year. Hadn't seen him up until this year. So it made me think about Christmas. Like if I hadn't seen you on Christmas and I said Merry Christmas on December 27th, would you look at me and go, that's crazy. Christmas was 2 days ago. If I see you 3 days after your birthday and say happy birthday, usually you don't get upset because we'll receive those accolades. Point being made, we need to recognize each day is a special day. If we learn nothing from 2020, this day, forget tomorrow, but this day is not promised to you. We've lost so many people in 2020. Even coming to the end of 2020, people were still talking about loved ones passing away from complications of COVID or other illnesses that seemed eerily similar. So take this time, this day, to hug someone, tell them you love them, or just tell them Happy New Year.
Interesting. Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year, bro. Happy New Year to my niece over there, too.
Yeah, she's being herself.
Oh, that means she's being great. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what she told me. Yeah.
So listen, man, I know you're nervous. Don't be nervous, bro.
Come on.
It is going to work out for y'all today. I have faith. Listen, I might go put on some purple boxes if I have any. I want the Ravens in the playoffs, but boy, y'all better win. Today is a great day in the NFL. We got so many games on tab that means something. Almost all of these games. That's one thing these buffoons got right. They scheduled all these conference games at the end of the season because they got tired of teams tanking and sitting guys. They fixed that problem real quick. All these games matter today, bro. I'm ready to get locked in and watch football. I'm actually excited because college football really let me down this year. So yeah, I'm watching. I'm watching all the games today, man. See what I can see.
Shout out to College Station because Texas A&M took out their frustrations last night in the Orange Bowl, winning it. It was a good game until they just had too much for North Carolina at the very end. But, North Carolina had a lot of guys sit out.
Yeah, I read that they were without their two stud running backs. They got two running backs that are both really, really good. They didn't have either one of them last night.
And a stud receiver that they always go to. So,
okay.
they lost a lot of weapons. They didn't get the publicity that Florida got. But shout out to Fighter Share Nation, my mom, my pops, my daughter, my wife, Miss Karen. It's on you, bro.
Hey, man, that's all I got, man. So we brought in 2021 the right way, doing it our way. And now we can shed some of those formalities to get back to our ratchetness tomorrow. Make sure you tap in with us at 11 a.m. Monday, we might have something special for y'all. But ain't the reason why you check in. You check in to watch me and sometimes him. We out of here until we see y'all tomorrow, 11 a.m. Peace.
Pretty Ricky's what they call him.